Hello. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. This is episode 97. We are almost at the end of the year, almost at the end of the season, and we are still chugging along pretty well. So, what is it? 52 weeks in a year. So, episode 104 will be our 2-year anniversary. So, pretty excited for that. I don't have anything planned. I don't really have anything planned for any episodes I do. So, that being said, let's just get right into it. I'm recording this on a Saturday. It is December 3rd, 2022. Captain's log. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So a couple episodes ago, there was an episode called Kanye, Is Kanye Wrong? And I would like to retract my statement formally and say yes, indeed, he is mostly wrong with some things. So, I mean, I cannot. Kanye has come out and made it impossible to defend him, like impossible to be a Kanye fan. If you don't know what happens, it's hard. I don't know if you were like in a holding cell or stuck, on Mars or something, but Kanye went on Alex Jones. That's InfoWars by Alex Jones. Oh yeah, and today I'm sipping on one of these Mexican Coca-Colas. Anyways, Kanye, by the way, that Coke cost me like $4. It was retarded. But Kanye went on Alex Jones' show called InfoWars, and I mean, he's gone fully off the deep end. Kanye's fully redacted at this point. So I wanted to gather a few clips from that interview and just share those with you. So here's one. I mean, it's Kanye West he's fully just lost it. He's lost all semblance of like sanity. Here's this.
Germans had a really cool leader at one time.
Oh my God. Look.
Dude, you know when you have Alex Jones saying, "Oh my God. Oh my God." You know you said something wild. Kanye West said the Germans had a really cool leader at one time. What possesses someone to freaking suicide bomb their career this hard? Here's another clip. Kanye West wore this like mask thing. So that's why he kind of sounds weird if you're just listening. He wore like a full face covering, full face mask.
I've practiced Chinese water torture on myself. I would like skip along Malibu in front of my house and sing, "When the Clintons come to kill me, how is it going to be? What are they going to do to kill me?" Wait a second. Netton, what do you have to say about this? Netton, don't want to say nothing.
Alex Jones' face, he's just like... I've never seen Alex Jones at a loss for words. He's just staring at the camera like, what is happening? It's bad when you look crazy next to Alex Jones. Like, Alex Jones is supposed to make you look a little bit more sane. Like, the things you're saying, he's supposed to be like crazier than that, like one step beyond that. But in this whole interview, Kanye's like the crazy one, and Alex Jones is like, okay, well, let's bring it back a little bit. Let's not say Germans had a pretty cool leader at one point. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Kanye West, he's making it impossible to me for I can't defend him. You cannot defend Kanye at this point. He has gone fully off the deep end. Fully. Like what possesses someone to be that crazy? It's just I don't know. It's just sad. It's sad to see, and it's he has no one. He really has no one anymore. Like his friends are probably all gone because now he's like, I guess, aligned himself with Nazi sympathetics. Um, yeah, I mean, his wife is banging Pete Davidson. Actually, probably not anymore. I don't. I think they broke up. But like, it just sucks because his whole life is like falling apart, and he's a man like grasping at the like the sand, just going through his fingers, and he's just like losing everything that he likes. And I don't even know if he has music career. I mean, music is the only thing left for him, and I don't know if he still has his recording studio and stuff. I think he's in debt now. Like he owed, like I think he filed for bankruptcy or something. Like his whole life is falling apart, and it's sad to see it happen in real time. And it's sad to see it happen to someone who's such a prolific artist. But you know, I used to say like he's woke, but he's gone like full like QAnon retard woke. There's a fine line between woke and full and like fully retarded. And he's crossed that line. Like, when he was asking questions about, okay, why are like, I guess he was roasting his managers or whatever that were giving him contracts, right? And I guess he couldn't find one that wasn't Jewish that fit what he was looking for. So when he was asking why can't I find one, that I mean, that is like on the thin line of Q, and now he's gone like fully past that. I just imagine the people that are just now finding out about Kanye, like some truckers, like, that Kanye feller has some pretty good ideas. That goddamn little Jim Bob, little Jim Bob. Hey, you seen that Kanye West feller? Seen that Kanye West feller? You got some pretty good damn points. I've been listening to his music. I've been listening to College Dropout. What if his plays on Spotify just go up, but it's primarily due to country people finding out about Kanye? Kanye West becomes the main anthem for like the Ku Klux Klan or something. Yeah, but it's sad. It's sad. I really did like Kanye, and I liked his artistry, and his like stick to itiveness, but sad to see what he's become. But that being said, I'm excited to see where it goes. I don't know if there's anyone who even can support Kanye. I was like in the last boat of people that were like, all right, guys, just give him a chance. Give him a chance to get this off his chest, and he'll be back to making good music. But now, like, he has like, in one move, deleted everyone who could possibly be a fan of Kanye West. I'm surprised Spotify hasn't taken him off of Spotify and YouTube and whatnot. I think that's probably coming. But then again, Kanye West is like the probably top 5 streamed artists of all time, like every year. So it's like, what do you value more? Money or getting rid of Kanye West's music off of your... I mean, in some cases, it's probably going to pick money, right? Because money doesn't hurt your feelings, words do. So, I mean, Kanye can say all the shit he wants, but if he's still making the money, that would be how I would imagine it. You can say all the shit you want, but we'll still play your songs and we'll still get 1 cent for every play that you know. It's probably what's gonna go down until like a bunch of people start getting pissed and they're like start adding Spotify on Twitter and stuff, and they're like, why's Kanye still on it? Then it'll probably get taken down. Once it starts affecting their image, then it'll probably start to get taken down. But I mean, you can still find Kanye West. I think he's still on YouTube and stuff. So it's just it's tough because I tried to defend him to the very end, and I can't anymore. It really is impossible. When you've shocked Alex Jones, you've gone fully off the deep end. Dude, there's this one clip of him like with a net. He brings up this net and talks to it like an Elmo voice. Hey, Nettie, what's up, Net? I like Net on Yahoo or something. Net and Yahoo. I don't know what that is. It's beyond conspiracy that I know of. Net on Yahoo, and Kanye West has a net and a bottle of Yahoo milk from like a CVS, and he's just like screaming at the net. I'll have to. I don't even know if I have this clip. I may have a TikTok of it. I'll have to upload it. Well, I'll pull it up at the end here. But no, it's crazy. He's had his like documentary canceled. He's had, brands stop working with him, and his life is, I mean, he's pretty much self-exploded his whole life, and maybe that's what he wants. Maybe at the end of the day, Kanye wants to literally be a homeless person on the side of the street screaming about Adolf Hitler. I can see that. I can actually unironically see that happening. But it's not a future that I want for him because it's just so sad. Like, it's crazy that Kanye West is a billionaire. That's kind of like the wild thing. It's like he is 1 millimeter removed from being a homeless person on the side of the street at this point, just screaming in a subway. All right, let's continue on with the news. Yeah, let's get right into the news. Oh, here we go. Alrighty. This just in. The Pentagon fails audit for the 5th annual year in a row. What you should know. So this is pretty interesting. I guess every year at around the end of the year, where we are now, December, the Pentagon gets audited by, I assume, the IRS. And for the last 5 years, they've failed the comprehensive financial audit. The audit is the 5th comprehensive review of the department has completed, and the 5th where auditors were unable to find sufficient record keeping for the DOD to pass off a clean audit. Apparently they can't like, they don't know where their $12 trillion have gone or something like that. This year's Department of Defense-wide audit report involved 27 smaller component audits, of which 7 component audits received unmodified opinions, which mean that the auditors determined the underlying military financial information was recorded fairly in line with U.S. accounting standards. One component audit received a qualified opinion, meaning the auditors found material accounting misstatements that were not pervasive. The remaining 16 components were disclaimers of opinion, meaning that auditors were unable to find complete enough financial records to provide an audit opinion. 50%, nearly 50% of the Department of Defense total's assets and at least 71% of the Department of Defense total budgetary resources were not able to be accounted for. So you're probably wondering, on the balance sheet, auditors determined that the Department of Defense has about 3.5 trillion in financial assets and 3.7 trillion in liabilities. They can't account for. So you're probably wondering, who's going to get in trouble for this? If you get audited as an individual and you can't account for your $3 trillion that you have, you get taken to debtor's prison or wherever they take you. They get their money eventually. So who's going to get in trouble for this? And the answer is absolutely no one, because it's the 5th year in a row that this has happened. And honestly, the person who runs the Department of Defense hasn't changed like in the last 5 years. Like, it's the same dude. He gets in trouble every year, and he probably just looks at his accountants, and they're like, dude, what? Like, his accountants show up to work every day, and he just tells them, dude, just look like you're busy. Just like pretend to type on that calculator for me. And then the auditors show up and they're like, yeah, where's your $3 trillion? The Department of Defense guy's like, well, I mean, ask our accountants. And the accountants are playing with Mega Blocks in the break room. Just the auditors walk in there and ask the accountants to show them their papers, and they're all colored with crayons. They're filled out with crayons. Like what? Like, what's happening? I mean, you're a multi-trillion-dollar government department, and you can't pass an audit. I mean, Jesus Christ. The funny thing is if you ask, like, if they audited most companies, most companies would probably fail. Which is interesting. It either means, one, it's too impossible to pass an audit, or two, everyone's cheating the system. It's sort of like I think of the U.S. economy as the Tour de France. You know, everyone's cheating, right? First off, you have to be good enough at biking and good enough at business to compete. And then once you're competing, you realize everyone at that level is cheating. Everyone's on steroids at the highest level of biking. And now you have to ask yourself the moral question of, hey, do I cheat to compete, or do I stop competing? And obviously, if you're a competitor, your answer is, okay, well, I'm gonna cheat so I can compete and become the best. So now you realize that everyone has that same moral quarrel happen with them. Everyone who's competing is cheating, and it's just whoever cheats the best starts winning all the races. And that's why you have, like, what's that guy, Louis Armstrong or whatever, who won like 24 Tour de France's. They found out that he was like hopped up on so much steroids that it was giving him like kidney failure or something. Like, the dude was jacking him. His legs were freaking massive. And I'm not even totally against it. That's the thing. I'm not against steroids in sports, right? I mean, as a spectator, you want the best performance possible from all athletes, right? And, you know, ideally that would be everyone doing natural, like all natty, right? But, you know, if you want to really see what the limits of the human body are, you got to start pumping these guys with these roids and start seeing really how far can a human hit a baseball outside of a stadium? That should be the question we should be asking. In the Olympics, how far, like, the Olympics everyone should be on steroids. I know the Russians are, but everyone should be. the Olympics are feats of human achievement, right? Every year, everyone, there's always some sort of world record broken every year. So every year that we have one, or I guess every 4 years that we have an Olympics, new records are broken. So it's only a matter of time before we push the limits, right? We need steroids so we can see the absolute pushing to the limits, the absolute power of the human body. How far can you actually, a human actually throw a javelin? I want to see that. That sounds crazy. I just, in my head, I imagine a javelin being thrown like a mile and a mile and a half. It just goes down like crazy shit like that. Like just some dude who's just like already an athletic freak, and then you just start pumping him with roids, and he's just like built like a tank, and he just throws this javelin, halfway across the equator. He's just a freaking beast. You probably couldn't do it with things like contact sports. Like once you start roiding up like football players and stuff, then you're like, well, these people are gonna kill each other. This is gonna get bad. But like competitions where you're just like running, like how fast can a human run a mile? Everyone's like 4-minute miles. Like that's what you have to do to be a top competitor. I want to see someone run a 2.5-minute mile. Faster than I can eat a bagel. I want someone to run a full mile. I mean, that's crazy. And it's probably going to be what happens at the, in the future. It's probably just going to be massive competitions of who can push their bodies to the maximum. All right, let's continue. So, yeah, classic Pentagon moment. They're failing audits as expected. Oh, here's a clip of here's the clip of Kanye, I think.
But we're gonna call him Nettin.
So that's Nettin. He has a net. It's like a fish net that you use to get fish out of your fish tank. And he's talking to it.
What you want, Nettin? Hey, yay, right after this, I'm gonna say you're crazy. I'm gonna take your family away from you. We're not done with you yet. You cannot cause free thought. We have to control the history books. We have to control the banks. And we have to go and kill people. Also, we're in the pedophilia. Ha ha.
Okay. So I don't know who Netanyahu is, but apparently they control the history books. I assume it's some sort of like Jewish thing, because that seems to be his vibe right now. Seems to be his vibe. All right, let's move on to metaverse. I always like when the metaverse fails. Oh, speaking of the metaverse, on Black Friday, I know it was a while back, I was Black Friday shopping, and these two really sweet old grandmas, like they were like just walking around. It was like a grandma and a grandpa, like a sweet old couple, and they were just walking around on Black Friday, and they both bought VR headsets. I'm like, dude, you guys are checking out of this world there, dude. That's mad respect, dude. When you're 85 years old and you buy a VR headset, you've probably experienced most things that you already want to experience on Earth. They're ready to experience things in the metaverse. But speaking about the metaverse, the European Union spent $500,000, which first off, I don't know how they spent that much in the metaverse, but they spent $500,000 on a metaverse party and it attracted only 6 guests ended up showing up. Brussels, a European Union plan to throw a virtual party in the metaverse to engage young people in its policies, flopped spectacularly after only 6 people showed up. The EU Commission's Foreign Aid Department splashed out nearly $500,000 to create the metaverse, an online square where people can log in for a virtual concert and meet others and learn about the block. The event, with its own virtual DJs playing music on repeat, was supposed to be so digitally enticing to young people that once they were there, the EU would be able to educate them about the development policy. But no one showed up. Only 44 people had liked the online promotional video, which featured futuristic avatars bopping along to pulsating house music. Metaverse is a new social media Metaverse is not a social media platform. Of online meeting rooms from Meta, the company that runs Facebook. The target audience was 18 to 35-year-olds who identify as neutral about EU and aren't particularly engaged in political issues. Interesting. So here's the thing with the metaverse. People are gonna not want to do things that they don't want to do in real life in the metaverse, right? Like, I wouldn't want to go to a what is this, a party for a political whatever in person. I wouldn't want to do that in person. If someone doesn't want to do it in person, then they're probably not going to do it in the metaverse. The metaverse is for things that they physically can't do in real life. For instance, join Call of Duty and shoot a 9-year-old in the head. You don't want to do that in real life. You're gonna go and get in Call of Duty, and you're gonna go on voice chat and be like, "Hey, dude, you suck, and you're gonna enrage people, right? As you shoot them. You can't enrage people as you shoot them in real life. People don't want to spend their time online in a weird gala group meetup. Unless it's like some sort of monetary gain for them. Yeah, I don't know. The metaverse is like a weird thing. Like, I almost bought a headset, one of those Meta headsets on Black Friday. They're like $400, which is retarded. But actually, I think they're more. They're like $600. But it's just not there right now. First off, you need a freaking monster of a PC to even run one, which, I mean, barely anyone has. I could probably run one. Yeah, my computer probably could, but I'd say, the vast majority of the population are running like really shitty Dell PCs in their office or whatever. And they just can't do this. So if your idea of starting the metaverse, you're starting at the wrong spot. You're starting at the headset. The headset comes last, right? You need to make very good PCs as cheap as possible. The barrier to entry should not be a $1,000 computer and then a $600 headset. I don't want to spend $1,600 to go to your EU conference. No one wants to do that. If I spend $600 on a headset, I want to be climbing Mount Everest. I want to be playing virtual paintball. I want to be slicing musical notes as they fly towards me in Beat Saber. I don't want to be going to an EU conference where people are going to try to sell me on political agendas. I mean, that's so... And how they spent $500,000, I'm very confused about. And that seems like money laundering. I'm not going to lie. Like, where's that money going? Just paying for the time? Are they buying a venue? Did they buy the space? Who knows? EU's money the EU would fail an audit. 100%. All right. Let's see. Here is quarantine camps from China.
is taking severe measures to tackle COVID-19 cases as
So China is going full on COVID lockdown. I didn't even know COVID was still a thing. I don't know. I haven't talked about it. It hasn't even been brought into my memory in several months. So COVID being hard lockdown, people are starting to riot. They're starting to spray the streets with a weird gas. I guess like sanitation stuff. They're like spraying the people down. It's getting like Black Mirror out there in China. So I found this. No one in the American news is covering this for some reason. It's a huge thing. China, any sort of like political discourse in China is very rare and should be covered because it's a big deal. China's a big country with like half of the world population or something. It's a big deal. And the fact that people don't like the Chinese lockdowns, I mean, look, when truckers started to protest the Chinese lockdowns, or not their Chinese lockdowns, people called them traitors and selfish and assholes and, shut up and truck. But when China does it, I assume they're going to be called patriotic and, freedom seekers or whatever. And I'm interested in seeing that. So I do wish that, and that might be why it's not being covered, because they don't want to go back on their stance of fighting COVID precautions. But this should be something that's covered more. I'm surprised I haven't heard anything about this. There's literally riots in the street in China against COVID lockdowns. That would put some of those libtards. I like saying libtard because it's funny because I don't really think that they're all retarded, but it's just it's funny. It's like saying I was talking on the phone with someone because that's my job in real estate. I just talk to people in the area, pretty much spam calling. But I talked to some dude and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sell my home once we get Biden out of here." He's like, "All these freaking Democrats." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Democrats." He's like, "I came up with that term, the Democrats, because they're all demons." I'm like, okay. That's what I imagine libtard is now. It's like a demon, the goddamn Democrats. The Democrats and the Democrats. The Dummycrats. It's just so stupid. Like, politics in America is such a joke. It's such a joke. Okay. So, yeah, China, I mean, it's riots in the street in China should be covered, is my main point. And I don't know why they're not being. But, so, long story short, the only one I found who's covering this is this random Indian news station, so.
the country prepares to host the Winter Olympic Games in a month.
Wait, what?
Amid a surge in cases,
Oh, this is from a while back.
China is reportedly putting suspected COVID-19 patients in metal boxes to isolate them and prevent spread of the disease, as per its...
So they're building these giant, rows and rows of these metal boxes, these quarantine camps, and they're putting people in them. I saw a video recently that people are being, hauled away, taken by these people in, hazmat suits. I saw this video of a taxi driver who had his taxi surrounded and roped off, gated off on all angles, because he had tested positive for COVID. They boxed off. They quarantined him in his car and wouldn't let him leave. Yeah, whatever's going on in China, I wish them the best, because it's you guys gotta figure out your shit, because I mean, shit's going whack real quick. How do they still have a problem with COVID? And I think that this whole thing started with their iPhone factory. They had like one outbreak in the iPhone factory, and they tried to lock everyone inside of the factory. Like, you're not leaving. We're containing this. Then people broke out. People busted down walls and stuff, and then gates, and then they were just like leaving. So now I guess people that energy has spread to the like big cities, and several of the cities are like, you know, breaking out and trying to stop getting you know, quarantined and shit. I mean, it's interesting. It could, the reason I bring it up is it could lead to some sort of like weird sort of like I don't know, like violent. I can imagine it gets violent. Like a couple Molotovs thrown at some of the SWAT team. Oh, I saw an image of a monk during the Chinese protest. That was a really cool one. Let's see. Monk Chinese COVID lockdown protest. I saw a picture of a monk. Chinese lockdowns could be a major turning point. But there was like a video of a monk, and he was just standing in front of like this freaking SWAT team. It was a powerful image. He's like, yo guys, COVID's not that big of a deal. Unless China knows something that we don't, or if they're trying to contain some sort of like another COVID they released or something, then I can understand why they're like hardcore locking it down, because they don't want to, because they got blamed. Obviously, they got blamed for the first COVID because it was their fault. So if they release like another COVID, then everyone's gonna be like, dude, China, get your shit together, or we're gonna just nuke your whole country. Just nuke the whole country because of a COVID outbreak. We're gonna nuke every wet market. Wasn't that where the thing came from? It like a weird bat soup or something. I still, you know, I still to this day do not know where COVID came from, and I don't think like anyone cares anymore, which is funny. But it's like, I've heard people say like there was a lab in COVID. They were making COVID in a lab. They were, you know, doing tests on it. There was some sort of bat soup, and then some sort of like weird American research facility in Wuhan. And then, you know, I've heard a lot of different things, right? And I feel like maybe 5 years from now we'll get some sort of documentary that exposes it all on Netflix that everyone watches once and forgets. We'll see. It's definitely a major part of a lot of people's lives. Everyone had to deal with that shit. And now that it's over, it's sort of like it's like trauma. Our brains have like blocked it out for the most part. Like, someone was talking about something we did during COVID. I'm like, dude, I don't remember that at all. It was like a year ago. COVID, like the whole COVID time is like just burned out of my memory. All right, let's continue on here. Harvey Weinstein. If you know Harvey Weinstein, he's in a long legal dispute about sexual assault. But I thought this headline was pretty funny. Harvey Weinstein's abnormal testicles are key focus in final arguments in trial. Numerous women accused Harvey Weinstein of sexual assault have testified about his medical condition. Apparently, he has like a gangrene, like a weird, like his. So Harvey Weinstein had, I guess, a trouble getting hard. So he would literally inject his freaking balls or something with like the chemical that's in Viagra. And he did that for so long that, like, I guess he could like never get hard, and his balls are so abnormally like like I don't know if it's mold, but let's see. During the trial, prosecutors, I'm retarded. Prosecutors revealed to the jury that Weinstein underwent surgery in 1999 for Furner's gangrene, which required doctors to remove some of his scrotum. So it's like a necro, like I guess because a gangrene happens on your foot when it used to be called trench foot, I believe. When it gets so wet and it never gets out of the trench. They got out of the like World War I during trench warfare. A lot of people got gangrene, I think, on their feet, and they called it trench foot. And it's when it would be so muddy and your shoes would get wet, and you would never have a time to dry your feet, right? Your feet would never be dry. They would always be soaked or at least moist, and that moistness caused like a weird mold to grow. And some people would lose toes or and stuff like this. And this guy had apparently trench balls. He had trench balls. Like, this guy's a freaking goblin. This guy's a troll, man. Like, look at this guy. Like, imagine this guy trying to make a sexual advance on you, and then he pulls down his pants and he has trench balls. Like, dude's a goblin. This guy needs to be freaking... I could have probably looked at this guy and you said, is this guy some sort of sexual pervert? And within 5 seconds of looking at him, I would have told you, yes. Yes, indeed. He is. Like, this guy just looks like a freaking goblin. The surgery caused pretty noticeable scarring because of an infection. His testicles were actually taken from his scrotum and put into his inner thighs. Dude, this guy's got like a weird freaking... This guy's got balls on his thigh. His balls were taken from his scrotum and put into his inner thigh. Numerous women accused Weinstein of rape and sexual assault have testified that his genitalia during the lengthy trial. In October, the jury was shown photos of his private parts and sifted through an envelope of images in a private room on courthouse. Members of the public and media were not giving access to the... Imagine the reporter who said, "Can I have a picture of Harvey Weinstein's abnormal balls, please? Hey, when can we get those photos? Hey, Mr. Judge." Like, they're outside. The reporters are outside. "Give us the balls. Let us get that photo." Now, as deliberations have begun, the verdict on 3 charges, all pertaining to Jane Doe number 1, will largely rely on Weinstein's genitalia. Jane Doe 1, a European actor and model, has accused Weinstein of rape and sexual assault. She alleges an incident occurred in 2013 at a hotel where she was staying, and she attended LA Italia Film Festival as a VIP guest. Like, this dude's such an asshole. Like, if you have abnormal balls, why do you want to be showing people them? Like, you want to be, I would be as bashful. I would be, like, it would be impossible for, I would not even go out. Even if I had a girlfriend, I wouldn't even want to show her my freaking gangrenous balls. Like, Harvey Weinstein's a demented individual. Like, so he's like he's got balls in his leg. Like, what is happening? Why are you even trying to rape women? Like, what is going on with you, bro? Jesus Christ. Now, that guy needs to be put down, bro. That's a dog that needs to be put down. That is disturbing. The gangrene balls makes it even worse. All right, let's move on to TikTok time. I'm tired of talking about gangrene balls. Oh shit. There's more Elon. No, damn it. I forgot this TikTok. This is
I thought. That's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi.
This is more Kanye West.
To be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also.
Bro.
I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love, us, and you can love what we're doing to you with the contracts, and you can love what we're pushing with the pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician.
I don't think he did either of
those. You can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler. How about that one?
Dude, the especially is what kills me. Every single person, like, this is something that maybe like a hippie would say. Every person has some redeeming quality. You should love everyone, no matter their problems. But when he said especially Hitler, you lost me, my man. You lost me.
Ari Emanuel, how you like that one? Hey, Ron, you going to do anything to fix Chicago?
The most Nazi-like activities I've seen, and the Nazis, in my view, were thugs that shook people down, did a lot of really bad things.
They did good things, too. We're going to stop dissing the Nazis all the time.
Okay. You said he loved him?
When Alex Jones just says, okay, you know you've gone off the deep end.
They gave him an award. I'm just saying, I don't like Nazis, and I don't like what some of the mafias are doing either.
I like Hitler.
Dude, did he say I like Hitler?
I don't like what some of the mafias are doing either.
I like Hitler.
And it just gets silent. Like, dude, you're crazy. All right, let's go with some of these TikToks.
I'm gonna give you $5 if you stand still for 15 seconds.
This is like some tweaker that comes into this guy's gas station.
15, 14, 13,
This guy cannot
12,
stand still.
11, 10, 9, 8, 7,
so sad.
6. No, you're moving. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
He fell asleep. He's woken himself up.
No, man, you lost. No, hell no. No, you fucking lost.
Dude, tweakers are so weird, bro. Like, I mean, it's kind of messed up that this is like a form of entertainment on TikTok. Like, this guy has asking tweakers this guy's Hood News, and this whole TikTok thing is like asking tweakers to do something in his convenience store. We're living in a point in time when that's entertainment. And it's sad, but it's also we're living in a Black Mirror episode. Let's be honest. I mean, here's a church. This is a Christmas church. They're practicing for their Christmas performance, and they have like drummers strapped to wires being flown and levitated around the auditorium. It's more of a stadium, I'm going to be honest. But this is where, like, anytime that they pass around at churches, they'll pass around like the donations box. This is what I imagine it goes towards. Like, they're just flying around. There's like 20 plasma screen TVs in the background that just have the word Jesus on it. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, that's what Jesus, like, if you showed that to Jesus, and this is like, and you showed Jesus, you brought him back to life, and you said, hey, look at this church and how much we're praising you, and he's like, dude, this is so overkill, I'm going to just smite you all. He would smite immediately. Here are some protesters for the Just Stop Oil movement in Italy being forcibly removed from the premises. Funnily enough, this was an Elon Musk tweet. So this is a huge dude, and he's just dragging these people and throwing them into the street. So I'm going to just let this play. Dude, he's throwing them like rag dolls too. Wait, I'm gonna play it again from the beginning. Dude, look at how hard he throws these people.
J'ai dit gauche, j'habite à côté, bordel de merde! C'est quoi le premier, quoi? Allez-y! Premier qui bouge l'encul! Premier qui bouge l'encul! Vas-y, vas-y, vas-y! Premier qui bouge l'encul! Premier qui bouge l'encul, je m'en bats les couilles! Hey, le premier qui revient, je m'en bats les couilles! C'est ridicule! C'est bon, connard! Tu cherches pas un diable, toi aussi? Fais chier! Tous les jours, vous nous faites chier! On travaille, nous aussi! On avait une famille! Allez, madame, allez, moi aussi je travaille! Allez, laissez passer! Je suis agriculteur! Laissez passer là, madame! Il y en a qui bougent le lit! Il y en a qui bougent le lit!
And he's just like directing traffic the whole time. This is great. I love that video. Throwing people off the... Fuck those protesters, dude. All right, let's watch two more.
All right, I'm right outside of court with my great client.
This is this guy. This guy always has the wildest clients. I actually haven't watched this one, so I don't know what this guy does, but I always love this guy's videos because his clients always do the wildest shit, and he always records them. I assume that's some sort of like part of the deal that he has with them to promote his TikTok. He records them and makes them agree to it, but I would not agree to. I mean, he has some wild people.
All right, I'm right outside of court with my great client. He was falsely accused of a sexual battery, okay? This is a very serious case. It's a very serious allegation.
He looks like he did it.
A horrible thing to do. A horrible thing to commit sexual crimes. However, it's extremely horrible to falsely accuse an innocent person of that. So my client here was facing lifetime registration as a sex offender. And that's much worse than any jail time he was facing. And I'm pleased to announce that today, the case was dismissed. All right, we came to court for the first time about a month ago. My client exercised his constitutional right to a speedy trial. We did not get any continuances. We wanted to go straight to trial. Trial was about to start, but the prosecutors today dropped the case. How do you feel?
I feel great. This is unbelievable what you did for me. I really appreciate it. I was shivering. I was scared. I didn't know what's going to happen in my life with all these accusations, my word against her word. But finally, as you said, the first day to me, you came true. It was as fast as it could have been. And
as fast as it could have been, I could not be any happier. I appreciate everything you did for me. And God bless you.
And I would recommend you to anybody and everybody. I hope you never be there. But if anything happened, I would recommend him as number one. I know a lot of attorneys. I have a lot of attorneys in my own family. But I picked him because I trusted him, and I'm glad that I did.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, that one was eerie. That one took an eerie turn. Okay, last video.
Boy in Wisconsin is suspected of shooting and killing.
Wait, 10-year-old boy?
Boy in Wisconsin is suspected of shooting and killing his own mother because she would not buy him a virtual reality headset on Amazon. At first, police ruled it accidental, but other family members contacted them saying they
I remember this. Okay. This is crazy.
Suspected otherwise. And the boy used his mom's Amazon account to buy the headsets the next day. Police say when they questioned the boy a second time, he admitted to shooting his mother on purpose. According to a criminal complaint, the boy's grandmother says that he told her he was sorry for killing his mom and then asked if his package had arrived. Boy in Wisconsin.
No, he did not. He said, "I'm sorry for shooting my mom, and did my package arrive yet? I want to play on my virtual headset." You know, you should have bought him that virtual headset, because this is the type of person that benefits from a virtual headset. This is the exact person. This is your target audience. Facebook, if you're listening, this is your target audience. Possible school shooters, right? The reason that's your target audience is because instead of shooting up a real school, you give them a fake one in virtual reality where they can take out their frustrations and not shoot their mom in the head for not buying them a headset. Talk about a temper tantrum. This 10-year-old shot their mom over that. I'm laughing. It's horrible, but it's where are we at in this world where so I mean, this says a couple things to me. This says, one, the real world that this kid is living in is so bad that he wants to escape it into virtual reality so bad that he'll kill for it. And another thing that it says is that virtual reality might be cool enough to kill for. So I mean, that's like another, like, maybe an advertisement campaign they can run. VR, meta, join the metaverse. Cool enough to kill for. It could be a kind of a catchy slogan. But this is wild. Like, oh my god, dude, it sucks. It sucks that this happened. Of course it's sad, but of course with most things, there's a little bit of a part. One last thing. Actually, yeah, let's play this one. This is from Art Basel, a very fancy restaurant, and this is an art installation from Mischief. If you know Mischief, they do a lot of like avant-garde kind of like statement pieces. And this is an ATM that has a camera on it, and it takes a picture of you and shows your balance on a scoreboard. And this is Diplo, and he posted this on his account, and obviously he's very rich. He's famously rich, and he's going for first place.
Your checkings. Checking or saving? Should be your checkings.
So, can I have some?
High score.
All right, yeah.
High score. There he is, first place. There's Diplo, first place.
Okay.
High score. High score. You won. Nice, dude. Congrats. Congrats, guys. Everyone give him a round of applause for being rich. That's all I had for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up on about the 1 hour mark, so I don't want to hold you too long. Thanks for everyone for listening. If you liked it, please share with a friend. You know the drill. Help a brother out. Leave a comment for the algo. And we are almost to the end of the year, so keep an eye out for that 104th episode. I'm going to try to get something planned, maybe, hopefully, for the end of the year. And other than that, take care. Thanks for listening.